Hello everyone, my name is John Daniel, and today I'm going to be going over a new AI tool that I have not quite exactly used for, well, obviously a project assignment that I am trying to create. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. I'm currently using, on, of course, the web browser itself, Runway. It is a tool that allows me to generate a type of video utilizing either an already pre-existing video or an image to slightly alter it in a different way depending on how it is I want it. So I'm going to go ahead and name this as ducks because I have a pre-recorded or pre-taken photograph of my photography session couple years back that I did over at a duck pond that's nearby where I live. So I'm going to go ahead and select that video picture. If I can find it, here we go. And once I go ahead and upload the picture, it takes a moment and it begins to load. Now, as you can clearly see, we have this. We have a couple of options here. We have landscaping and portrait. I'm going to stick with landscaping. I can also zoom in and out, and I can also move the actual image itself to have a different angle or area that I want to focus at. I'm going to leave it here for right now, so that way we get a big, large area to work with. Keep in mind of the details that are shown here on this picture. Of course, the ducks, how many ducks we can see clearly, the pathway that we can observe, well, not really grass, but the natural side of the park itself, the trees, and the two poles that are supposed to say something. I believe it's something along the lines of do not swim in the pond or whatever. But anyways, this, keep in mind of all the details that are showing right now before the AI begins to generate whatever it is that I tell it to. So I'm going to go ahead and click on crop, and it takes some minutes, not even that long, to bring it up to here. I could throw in another picture of where it is I want this AI to generate from this photograph to my last photograph. But I'm going to stick with this one just so you can see where it can go up to. We have a couple of options all around here. We could add text, camera control, act ones, expand videos, and all that stuff. I'm not going to touch on this right now. I do not need that. I could even expand, or in this case, decrease the time to 5 seconds. And we also have a couple of descriptions all across here. But I'm going to go ahead and make my own. So let's go ahead and begin with a very simple one of, let's say, the ducks walking forward. Oops. Alright then, there we go. Simple as that. The ducks walk forward. And let us generate. And after a moment, this will then finally be able to generate the existing video that I wanted it to. Let's go ahead and click on play. Well, not exactly the way I wanted, and not at all. It looks a little weird. We get some interesting things around here. Obviously, we see a duck randomly appear out of nowhere. The ducks begin to walk backwards for no apparent reason, and I think which one is it? Oh, okay, never mind. This one turns around. Okay. Interesting choice. For whatever reason, there's a duck here that pops up, which I believe it's supposed to represent these ducks here. And then I think, yeah, yeah, you could definitely see it just a tiny bit, but these ducks are not atomically correct. And I think they're a little larger than they're supposed to be. So, yeah, there's a few wacky things here that are happening, but nonetheless, not a bad start to something of interest. So, I'm going to go ahead and save that, only because that's a very interesting thing to see. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to my next thing. That being, let's see, let's go ahead and change it to, I don't know. How about we change it to something a little bit more advanced? Let's do a drone. Yeah. Let's do drone flies away. I don't know. Or more specified, a drone shot flies away. Let's see if what that changes. Alright, and here we have it. We now have our second video that should be that should be now generated. Let's see what it looks like. If it looks like anything at all. Not a whole lot. Honestly, a little disappointing. And I'm starting to see some repeating patterns of some of the ducks here. Some of them are walking backwards. Some of them are appearing out of nowhere. The sidewalk's not exactly staying the same consistency. We now see that it rendered the two ducks being two, and then they merged into one. So it's a slow work in progress with a couple of these things, but it doesn't look too bad. It just looks a little off. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that one too, because that's going to be an interesting one to show off to a couple people. But anywho, there we have it. We have a couple of videos that I got to play around with, in the sense that I had AI generate a 10-second sequence of you only utilizing one picture that I took a couple years back. Isn't the most prettiest thing ever? No. Maybe if I specified more detail of what exactly I wanted, it probably would give me the results that I was more or less looking for. But I didn't want to get too complex with that. And as much as I would like to play around with this more and show off a couple more details, unfortunately, due to the fact that I am using a free account of Runway, it only allows me to use this feature a couple of times, or in this case, until I run out of credits, and I only have 25, which is not enough for this, because I believe it's supposed to be 50. But yes, there we have it. I have now shown you what exactly I have created when it comes to utilizing this AI tool, and I hope I get to see what else I could do with this in the future if I ever decide to come back and continue using this. And there we have it, everyone. So, thank you everyone for observing me as I test out a new tool of which I am not at all familiar with. Now, what does this go at all against anything when it comes to personal opinions about AI and how it can impact the art world as a whole? Well, sometimes it's not that bad, but it depends on how you utilize said AI. just like any other tool. It just depends on how you use it and what purposes you're using it for. With that said, thank you everyone, and hopefully you all have a good day. Goodbye.